is Kirtan, or different presenters, they just do Kirtan, Hare Krishna Kirtan. So it is a day to do more Kirtan, or basically more bhajan. This is a bhajan day. Less bhajan, less bhojan, or no bhojan. Yeah, some devotees do not even drink water. They do Nirjala EKādAŠī. So no eating, no drinking. Well, and they only drink the nectar. Why drink water when there is nectar available? So less bhojan, and of course no grains, for sure, and more bhajan. It's a day to become bhajananandi. Samadhi now, work later. In ISKCON, we say other way around. Serve now, work now, and Samadhi later. But on EKādAŠī, we could reverse that and do more bhajan, more dhyan, more samadhi, or at least attempt to become samadhistha, go in trance. So it is a bhajan day, or is a day to become bhajananandi. So we do kirtan, more chanting, more japa. Yeah, devotees chant more on this occasion of EKādAŠī. Yeah, different devotees have different vows. Yeah, we know some devotees, many devotees chant 64 rounds. Yeah, some chant 32, 25. But for sure, everyone should chant extra rounds on EKādAŠī. So as part of the Śravana-kīrtana Utsav of Kirtan ministry, we also get leading devotees to talk. What do they talk about? They talk about the glories of the holy name. We encourage them to focus their talk or make the glories of the holy name as a theme of their talk. Harinam Mahatmya, or Kirtan Leela of Gauranga. Our glories, as they have been chanted, glories of the holy name, are found throughout the scriptures. Yeah, including when Harer Namaiva, Harer Namaiva Kevalam, that's glory of the holy name. So some leaders, speakers, do that. The glories of the holy name they chant. and then we get serious. As we hear the glories of the holy name, then we become more serious about chanting Hare Krishna with Mridang Kartal, or even we get more serious, more focused, or more attentive in chanting our japa, mantra meditation. So it's important that we hear glories of the holy name. And then we also, of course, every EKADAŞī we don't do everything, but different EKADAŞī, different presentations. So some EKADASHIs we do japa retreat, not for 7 days, but just for an hour or so. Devotee leads us in mantra meditation or attentive chanting, and they share techniques, etc. Or a kind of manual they present how to chant with attention, how to control your mind, and like that, japa retreat, japa reform talk. The talks are presented. Then, we encourage our presenters to just sing bhajan as part of the Śravana-kīrtana festival. So they sing bhajan. There are so many Vaishnava bhajans. So they sing bhajans. We have Bhakti Vinod Thakur bhajan, Narottam Das Thakur bhajans. Srila Prabhupada has given us so many Vaishnava bhajans. So we sing. So basically we do in ISKCON Kirtan and bhajans. Kirtan and bhajan. Kirtan is chanting of Hare Krishna, and bhajan is singing bhajans, Vaishnava bhajans. So some presenters do bhajan session, and of course we ask them to explain the meaning of bhajan. Bhav, the devotion, or even whatever is explained in that bhajan, or philosophy, or whatever. Explain what it is. So a lot of times we sing bhajan, but we do not always know what we are singing. What are we singing? We sing like a parrot, we sing. So we better understand, grasp what we are singing. So Srila Prabhupada used to, well, of course, not only sing bhajans, but also he has given explanations to those bhajans, even word meaning of some of the bhajans, have written or spoken the purports to those bhajans. So we try to do the similar on EKADAŞī days. We get our someone to explain bhajan and sing bhajan also. And we try to do one more thing as part of the Śravana-kīrtana Utsav, is give you tips on how to pronounce bhajan or kirtan or mantras, slokas correctly. So we are not good at, this is not our language, Sanskrit or Bengali, it's not our mother tongue. And of course, we do not know Indian languages like Hindi or Marathi. Those languages are full of Sanskrit words, so similar pronunciation as Sanskrit. So especially those Prabhus and Matajis and Maharajas from overseas, from around the world, outside India, they need to work on this, learning correct pronunciation. We are not good at this. So Kirtan ministry wants to see that we pronounce bhajans, kirtans, mantras, Sanskrit, Bengali, as correctly or accurately as possible. At least we have to attempt. So I think today we have Nityanand Prabhu during the day. He's going to be making presentation on how to improve your pronunciation. Pronunciation, in fact. I did not say that English word I pronounced incorrectly. The pronunciation. Okay, so once again we welcome you and thank you for joining us. So today, as I'm the first presenter, so I thought of singing this Jashamati Nandana Rajavara Nagara, that song. And then I will sing Hare Krishna also. Time is limited, so I do want to run you through this song, the meaning of the mantra, and it is very simple. This song is very, very simple, which is full of different names of Lord Sri Krishna, and those names are Krishna is named after his leela or his pastime or his relationship with different devotees, and he's a resident of Vrindavan, and he is a killer of this demon, that demon. This is how Krishna gets billions of names of Krishna, the Lord, are there. So some of those are here. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has compiled this song. So that is how the names come into being. So Jashamati Nandana. So you understand. Yashamati Nandan, and these names are so very special, and And as soon as we begin singing, saying this song or these names, we are immediately reminded of, well, either the beauty of Krishna or the pastime of Krishna or abode of Krishna or one of the devotee, associate of Krishna. Instantly, as soon as we say Yashamati Nandana, immediately we are reminded of Yashomati, Yashoda, Mayyaki, Yashomati Nandan. Nandan is son. So whether it's Yashomati Nandan or Sachi Nandan, Nandan means son. This is also good to know, right? So whenever you find word Nandan, then or Devaki Nandan or Kaushalya Nandan. So like that. Seshamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara, and he resides in Vrindavan, and is so very dear to all the residents of Vrindavan. Gokula Ranjana Kanha. It's in the song. So, just to complete the meter or fit the word into the meter, the words are, there's some adjustment is made, and the Kanha becomes Kana. So Gokula Ranjana Kana. So Gokul is Gokul. So as soon as we sing Gokula Ranjan, first immediately we are reminded of Gokul. And what about Gokul? Gokula Ranjana Kana. That Krishna who entertains all the residents of Gokul, Gokula Ranjana Kana. Gopi Paranadhana Madana Manohara Kaliyadamana Vidhana. So Gopi Paranadhana. What is this Paran? How this word Paran came into being? The word is Pran. Word is Pran. Radha Krishna Pranamor. But in the song, it is written, or we sing Paranadhana. So he is a Gopi Pranadhana. So Krishna is life of gopis and is Madana Manohara. And is Manohara. Mana, mind, Hara. He captivates the mind of Madan. Madan is Kamadev, the demigod in charge of lust. Kandarpa, he has many names. Even Ananga, he is called Ananga. Why is Ananga in it? There is a whole pastime. Why is Ananga? Means no, Anga means body. He has no body. He lost his body. Shiva burnt his body. That's another pastime. So Madana Manohara Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. Lord attracts the mind of Madan, the Kaliyadamana Vidhana, and he is a Kaliyadaman, subduer of the Kaliya. Daman means to subdue. So Krishna did not kill Kaliya, he subdued Kaliya. So this doesn't say Kaliya Vad, but Kaliya Daman. So he's a performer of Herculean tasks like this, He could subdue Kaliya, or he danced on the horse of Kaliya, chastised him and asked him to get out of here. And then Kali had to do that. Hari Hari. And Srila Prabhupada established temple Kaliya Krishna in not in Fiji, with Nagapatnis also there, that whole pastime. And Krishna on the top of the hood of Kaliya. Anyway, so Kaliya Daman. Amala Harinam, I have to go faster because I want to sing, and they want to sing Hare Krishna also. So Amala Harinam, Amiya Vilas. Oh, if we could chant Amala Harinam. Yeah, elsewhere Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Aparadha Shunya Hayya Laho Krishna Naam. Oh, when would I chant? How? Aparadha Shunya, free from all the offenses. That's called Shuddha Naam, right? That chanting is called Shuddha Naam. So same thing. Amala Harinam. Mal means dirt. The dirt of the offenses. Free from that dirt of offenses. If I chant Amiya Vilas, then I will be happy. I will become Atmaram. My soul will be self-satisfied if I did this Amala Harinam. Vipina Purandara, he is Vipin. Vipin is a forest, Purandar. Well, he is a ruler, he is a lord of the forest. But then some Sakhi will come and say, no, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari. Radha is a Ishwari of Vrindavan, not you. And then they'll battle, they'll fight. Our coward boys and the gopis will fight. Who is a ruler? Is that Krishna? Is that Radha? So here, said Vipina Purandara, Krishna is a ruler, master. Then we also understand Krishna is a master of only 7 forests. Another 5 forests of Vrindavan, Balaram is a ruler. This is how their father's property. Nanda Maharaja's property. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya. That's another thing, Brajesha Tanaya. Nanda Maharaj is Braja-ish. He is the owner, master of Vrindavan. He's another one, Nanda Maharaj. And his sons are dividing the property. Okay, these forests for you, Krishna, and these ones are for me, Balaram. So that's another. Navina Nagara Vada, and he's a hero. Krishna is the best. And he's always ever fresh, Navinan. Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam cha, like that. Vamsi Vadana Subhasa. Just one name, and so much could be said, or so much we are reminded of. Vamsi Vadan. He is Vamsidhari, and then how many kinds of flutes he has, and this and that. He is a flute player. And there are unlimited glories of that flute, and then unlimited glories of that flute player, Vamsi Vadan. That is what he is. And Suvas, Su means nice, Vas means, well, different meanings of Vas also. This is how this Sanskrit is beautiful. Yeah, different meanings of same word. Vas also means residence, Nivas. And here Vas means Vasamsi Jiranani Yatha Vihaya. Krishna said Vas is clothing. So Suvas. So the Lord who is nicely dressed. And the nectar of devotion will describe how he meticulously dresses. Man, there's a whole thing. Shringar. Yashoda spends so much time dressing him. And so Suvas. Just one word Suvas, and then there's so much we could talk and remember. Brajajana Palana Surakula Nashana Nanda Godhana Rakhavala. So this is same as Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chaduskritam Dharma Samsthapanarthaya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. The same thing from Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, we are finding that here in this song, Brajajana Palana. He is a protector of residents of Vrindavan. This is Paritranaya Sadhunam. And Asurakula Nashan. And Vinashaya Chaduskritam. He is a killer, destroyer of the demons, or even demoniac forces, or even demoniac mentality. And Nanda Godhana Rakhavala, and he is a Nanda Godhana. First of all, cows are the wealth. Godhan. Cows are the wealth, and whose wealth this one is? Nanda Godhana. Cows are the wealth of Nanda Maharaj, and Rakhavala, but the caretaker of Nanda Maharaj's cows is Krishna, who is called Nanda Godhana Rakhavala. This is like a one name of Krishna. Nanda Godhana Rakhavala. Caretaker. Coward boy. Hari. So, and taking care of the cow, this is a dharma. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. I appear to establish dharma. So taking care of the cows is dharma. Lord also said this to Yashoda. Why are you worried about me? Oh, I have to wear shoes, I have to have an umbrella. Don't worry. Let us just take care of the cows. And that is dharma. That is our duty. And if we do that kind of duty, we follow that dharma, taking care of the cow, dharma, then dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Then that dharma will protect us. We don't have to make separate endeavor for our own protection or defense. So this was Krishna's argument as he argued that with Yashoda. Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala. So Govinda Madhava. Govinda, just 3 letters, but so much is said. Govinda, 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 Govinda. Yes, one of the beautiful name of Krishna is Govinda. And then we are reminded, Indra was the one who named Krishna Govinda, gave the name Govinda. Then the Go means cow, Go means land, Go means senses. So that meant he gives, pleasure to the cows, pleasure to the land, and pleasure to the senses. So these kind of meanings, Govinda, Madhava, Madhava. One of the beautiful names, Radha Madhav. Ma means Lakshmi, Dhav means husband, husband of Lakshmi. And in fact here husband of Mahalakshmi, that is Radha. Radha is Mahalakshmi. Dhava, husband. So when woman has no husband, it's called vidhava, without husband. And with husband, sadhava, vidhava. With husband, without husband. Dhava is husband. And Ma is Lakshmi. So Krishna is husband of Lakshmi, and he is known as Lakshmi Narayan or Sita Ram. Krishna is Ram and Radha is Sita there. Or Krishna becomes Narayan, Radha becomes Lakshmi. So that's Madhav. Navanita Taskara. He's a thief. What? God and thief? How could that be? But yes, he is known for being a thief. But Navanita Taskara, butter thief. Hari Hari. So, such a sweet Krishna, sweeter than butter. He loves butter. Maya Mohi Makhana Bhavai. He cries, I love this butter. Meva Pakavan, you are always feeding me this and that, and puri and halwa and pakora and chappan bhog. But I love that makhan, that butter. So glories of that butter thief are unlimited. So one word, Navanita Taskara, and that becomes one name of Krishna. And then we drown in the ocean of all that is related with this Navanita Taskar. Navanit is makhan, Navanit is butter. Sundara Nanda Gopala, and then what to speak of Sundar, Saundarya. There are 6 opulences of the Lord, Shad Aishwarya, and one of them is beauty. And Prema Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Leela Madhurya, Venu Madhurya. Krishna is known for these 4 Madhuryas. One of them is Roop, form. Excellent form. Matchless form, matchless beauty. No one comes near, not even Ram. Just him and him alone. Exclusively. Krishna is, when it comes to beauty, Mattaha Parataram Nanyat. And Nanda Gopal, he's Gopal, caretaker of the cows. Whose cows? Nanda Maharaja's cows. Go is cow, Pal means protector. Again, we should try to understand the details or in-depth meanings. Go, cow, Pal, protector. Go, Pal. Okay, moving on. It's difficult to move faster. Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Kripa Maya. Jamuna Tatachara. Jamuna Tata, the banks of Jamuna. On the banks of Jamuna, Chara, Vichara, is always wandering. Jamuna Tatachara. And Gopi Vasanahara. And sometimes on the bank of that Jamuna, he steals the garments of gopis. He did that on the full moon day of month of Margashirsh. Month after Kartik, then Margashirsh. And on the full moon day, gopis' garments were stolen by Sri Krishna. So, Gopi Vasanahara. Gopi Vasan, Gopi's clothes. Hara, he stole, took away. And Rasa Rasik, Rasa Rasik, he is an enjoyer of ras. When there is so much ras, then that's called ras. Lots of ras. And predominantly madhurya ras in relationship with gopis and Radharani, and there's a whole ras, and then they dance, rasa dance, there's singing, and Krishna is rasik. Enjoyer of ras is rasik. Rasik. Kripamoy, and is at the same time full of moy. Moy means full of moy. Ananda moy. This moy, that moy. Prema moy. Kripa moy. He's full of kripa, compassion. He's compassionate towards all of us. Kripamoy. Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakati Vinodashray. So Radha, Sri Radha Vallabh. Yeah, Vallabh, the husband of Radha. Radha Vallabh, Gopi Vallabh. And Vrindavana Natavar. Nat means actor, and var means the best, the topmost actor. So many acts Lord Krishna performs, and so he's a Natavar, the best amongst the actors. Every step is a dance. Is that kind of actor. Even his walking is like a dancing. Bhakti Vinod Ashray, and Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he wants to take ashray, shelter of that Krishna, that Yashamati Nandan, that Gokula Ranjana Khan, or that Brajajana Palana, that Govinda Madhava, ashray. So sing along, everybody. Yashamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Yashamati Nandana Brajavara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gokula Gopi Paranadhana Madana Manohara Kaliyadamana Vidhana Amala Harinam Amiyabila Vipina Purandara Navina Nagaravara Damsi Vajana Suvasa Brajajana Palana Asurakula Nasana Nanda Godhana Rakhavala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Jamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Pipa Maya Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nattavara Bhakti Vinoda Ashraya Yashomati Nandana Vrajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Hare, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Kirtan Ministry is also has organized Kirtans, non-stop Kirtans today and for next several days as a prayer for protection of my dear God brother EKqədAŠī Prabhu ki. So as you have been hearing announcements, his condition is very serious, very critical. Our heart goes to him. We want to pray harder that Pankajangri Prabhu is protected. So please participate in those kirtans organized by Kirtan Ministry. And of course, that kirtan, those prayers are for others also. Several other senior ISKCON leaders, devotees are also suffering. And there are a whole mass of devotees and the masses in India and globally are going through very terrible inconvenience. So let us keep praying. I had been saying that doctor's care and devotees' prayer. The doctors are doing their best to cure Pankajangri Prabhu and others. And let all the devotees pray. For the protection of all the devotees, all the people. Okay, so with that prayer unto you, I am praying that you please pray. So alright, so we'll close here. Yeah, it's also, I think that will be part of the announcement. Today is also Vyas Puja celebration of my dear God brother, EKΑDAŠީ Maharaj Ki. So this celebration is going to be mostly online. So please tune in and participate in Vyas Puja celebration of EKADAŠީ Maharaj. I have also made my offering, my Shraddhanjali, so you may hear that during the day. Hari Hari Bol.
Today I'm going to sing a very beautiful bhajan of Tulsi Das and Sri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana, and also followed by Kirtans. Before we start, we'll start with prayers and also the meaning of this beautiful bhajan. So let's start with short prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So let's start with this bhajan. This is a beautiful bhajan written by Tulsi Das, and I'm going to keep before you in a very precise way the meaning of it and also an acronym for the mind, how Kirtan can actually train our wicked mind. So let's start. So the first verse is Sri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhaya Darunam. It tells, O mind, worship the benevolent Sri Ramachandra, who removes the bhava, bhaya and daruna. Bhava means the worldly sorrow or pain. Bhaya means fear. Daruna means the scarcity or the poverty. And one should worship such benevolent Ramachandra, who has fresh lotus-like eyes, fresh lotus face, lotus hands, lotus feet, and they are all like the rising sun. So the acronym for today is MIND, M-I-N-D. So M means it magnifies the problems. You see, the mind has a tendency to magnify the problems. That's why the purpose of the yoga system, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita verse 6.5, it tells to control the mind, befriend it. It can be enemy also and friend also. So when we control the mind and draw it away from the attachment to the sense objects, it can deliver the conditioned soul from the mire of nescience. And that's why it has to be trained in actually magnifying Krishna than magnifying the problems. And that's what the first here is. The verse tells us, Tulsidas is telling us that worship that Ramachandra, because here the word reverence is more important. Reverence means respect. We cannot reach directly to the stage of love, but we can start with respect, and then the next stage comes eventually. So the first stage is respect, and that respect comes by magnifying, by glorifying the Lord, magnifying His glories rather than magnifying our problems of life. We all have problems in this material world because this material world is dukkhalaya. So rather than magnifying the dukkha here, we can magnify the bliss of the spiritual world, the bliss of the beauty of the Lord, the bliss of the spiritual life. Okay, so this is the first verse. And I can give one more example to this, is like how Parikshit Maharaj actually was cursed to die in 7 days. Now the essential event was very negative, but the way he experienced was completely different. Is it not true? He was experiencing that particular event as an opportunity to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and we can see all of us that we have today received that beautiful Amala Puran, which has actually which can help us to actually come out of the dangers of this material world. Okay, so this is the first verse written. The second verse is Kandarpa Koti, Kandarpa Aganita Amita Shavi, Navanila Nirada Sundaram, Patapita Manahu Tadita Ruchi Shuchi Naumi Janaka Sutavaram. The beauty exceeds the innumerable cupids, the Kamadeva. He is like a newly formed beautiful blue cloud. Who? The Lord Himself. The yellow robe on His body appears like a delightful lightning. And He is the consort of the daughter of Sri Janaka. He is the Sita. And the embodiment of sacredness. And we can see how the beauty of the Lord, when we just imagine also. Usually what happens, the mind has a tendency to imagine. That's why I for imagine. Sometimes many a times we imagine the pleasure, but rather than imagining pleasure, which is actually an illusion in this material world in absolute sense, we can imagine Krishna. We can imagine how the beautiful Krishna is so attractive. And in that way we can create that attraction within our hearts. Is it not? For example, a movie, for example. In this material world, when we watch a movie, the movie is just an illusion for 3 hours, because in that 3 hours we feel that everything is very real. But after that 3 hours are over, we are back again in the same situations where we were. Is it not true? So the mind makes us go on a fantasy drive based on something which is very tiny. That's why we should avoid imagining pleasures, because they are eventually giving us misery only, the pleasures of this material world. But rather than imagining the pleasures of this material world, we can imagine the service to Krishna. And that is one more pleasurable than actually, imagining the pleasures of this material world, because they are like having no juice at all, right? So that's what Tulsidas is going to say, wanting to say here. Next verse is Bhaja Deena Bandhu Dinesh Danav Daitya Vamsha Nikandanam Raghunanda Ananda Kanda Koshala Chandra Dasharatha Nandana. The meaning is, O mind, sing the praises of Sri Ram, a friend of the poor. He is the lord of the Raghu dynasty, and he is the destroyer of demons and devils in their race, the descendant of Sri Raghu, and is the source of joy, a moon of his mother Kaushalya, and is the son of Sri Dasharatha. Okay, so we can see how Lord is actually Deena Bandhu, is it not? That verse everybody remembers. Recently we celebrated Ramanavami, and Lord Ram himself has said, the one who comes to me and just says that I am yours, I give him shelter. So that's why M-I-N-D. So N means, usually mind neglects the opportunity. N means neglecting opportunities. Usually mind neglects the opportunities to serve Krishna. Is it not true? We all have distanced ourselves from the voice of the Paramatma, the conscience within us. And that is why we seek pleasure in this material world which is not real. And it makes us suffer eventually. And that's why we think of temptation as lust, anger and greed. But actually, in a normal, generic sense, that which takes us away from Krishna is actually temptation. Is it not? That's why we should never neglect the opportunity to glorify Krishna. By chanting, glorifying, by doing kirtans, because it frees us from all the anarthas. And that's why the mind is the source where we can use it to glorify Krishna or glorify Maya. And it depends on that choice what we have. That choice is within us, with us. And we should make that choice. The next verse also tells a similar aspect. Sira Mukuta Kundala Tilaka Charu Udaru Anga Vibhushana Ajanu Bhujashara Chapadhara Sangrama Jitakara Dushana. Translation: He wears a crown on his head, pendants on his ear, and tilak on his forehead. All is beautiful, all his organs are beautiful, all his limbs are beautiful and well decorated with ornaments. His arms reach his knees, he holds a bow and an arrow, and he emerged victorious in the battle with demons Khara and Dushan. So we can see how Lord himself, when we glorify the Lord, the glorification purifies the heart. So glorification of the Lord for the purification of the heart is what Kirtan is all about. And because of that, that wicked mind actually gets purified and he becomes friend also. And that's why we should never neglect the opportunities. We should never leave the opportunity to read scriptures, to glorify the Lord, because that will help our intellect and eventually the mind to get absorbed in remembering Krishna. And as the scriptures are honest representations of the purified man, as said in the verse, Tadvag Visargo Janataga Viplavo Yasmin Prati Shlokam Abadhavatapi Namani Anantasya Yashonkitanyat Shrunvanti Gayanti Grunanti Sadhava. These are full of transcendental words directed towards bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of the world's misdirected civilization. We are all misdirected in one sense. Coming to this material itself says that we are all misdirected, and we are misdirected to such an extent that we find more pleasure in the material aspects than the spiritual aspects. And here is this verse which is very fabulous, I can say, one of my favorite verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, which actually gives us the message of Prabhupada, who is telling us that actually we can actually read the scriptures which are actually honest representations, even though they're imperfectly composed, but they're heard and sung and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. And that's why, following such honest people, Yadadacharati Shreshtas, such leaders, we can actually develop that intense absorption in Krishna, and actually we can, help our mind from not becoming wicked, rather than becoming very pure, very humble, and very, blissful through absorption. And the final verse, इति वदति तुलसी दास शंकर शेष मुनि मन रंजनम मम हृदय कंज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल गंजनम. So this verse tells about how, the mind, Tulsidas says, O Sri Ram, the charmer of Lord Shiva, Shesha and saints resides in the lotus of my heart and destroy all the evils and their associates like desires. So it tells that how Lord himself who is residing in the heart can destroy all the evils within our heart, because he loves us. And that's why the last letter comes D. D, M-I-N-D. D for mind denies the highest reality. You know what is the highest reality? The highest reality in all existence is the reality that Krishna loves us. Krishna loves us not because who we are, but who he is. Because he is all Supreme Lord, Suradam Sarva Bhutana. And that's why his love for us is not dependent on us. His love is because he is very benevolent. And that's what we should see, and we should accept this highest reality. Now let us sing this bhajan. 1 minute, I'll just start. you so much for giving me this opportunity to serve, and we conclude here for the day. And just remember, once again I'll tell you the acronym MIND, MIND. M for it magnifies the problem, so instead of magnifying the problems we should magnify Krishna. I for imagining pleasure, instead of imagining pleasures of this material world we can imagine service to Krishna. In that we can derive more pleasure. And N is it neglects opportunity. Mind neglects the opportunity, so we should not neglect the opportunity, rather we should grab the opportunity to serve Krishna and remember Krishna and read the scriptures. And D for it denies reality, and it denies the reality that Krishna actually loves us, not because of who we are, but because of who he is actually. So thank you so much once again. Hare Krishna.
Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalyaye, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gaura Tveshe Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vranda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. ISKCON Kirtan Ministry and Śravana-kīrtana, which are the most important limbs of the devotional service, and on a most Madhava Tithi Bhakati Janani Jatana Kari Palan Karo. Madhava Tithi is EKqədAŠī, the most auspicious, enriching the devotion. Madhava Tithi Bhakati Janani. Bhakati Janani means the devotion take birth. Jatana Kari Palan Karo, with carefully observe the EKqədAŠī. And this is appreciable and wonderful ISKCON Kirtan Ministries program on Madhava Tithi Hari Vasarya EKādAŠī. And of course, this is 125th Appearance Day celebration of our beloved founder Acharya of ISKCON, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. We are fortunate that we have celebrated century, 100th year, Shatabadi And again, Srila Prabhupada has given us opportunity to celebrate after 25 years the glories of His divine grace and the mercy and gift He has given to the whole world in the name of holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Today, somehow, because we are between Ram and Navami, our Krishna Balanam temple was inaugurated on Ram Navami. And then the Dasya Bhakta, the devotion in the devotee in a servitude, the epitome and example of servitude, Rama Bhakta Hanumanji, is just coming. So since we all are designated as Das or Dasi, which means by initiation we are given our Swarup, our constitutional position, that we are servant of servant, Das, Anudas. So we have to learn from the pastime of Sri Hanumanji how to perfectly perform devotion and Dasya Bhakti. Two pastimes I will discuss today with you. The one pastime which is our subject matter generally, the holy name. Srila Prabhupada writes in Lecture of Devotion, Krishna is all attractive. He attracts everybody. But devotion attracts him. Devotee conquer the Ajita, Ajita Jito. Unconquerable is conquered by devotion. And in devotion, the most important item is holy name. So Krishna is conquered by Kirtan, and the Kirtans are Kirtan is a Guna Kirtan, Leela Kirtan and Nama Kirtan. Of all the Kirtan, Nama Kirtan is topmost. In the court assembly of Lord Ramachandra, there gathered almost all the great sages and rishis, Deva Rishi, Raja Rishi, Brahma Rishi, all gathered there. As we have in Srimad Bhagavatam, all these rishis gathered around the deathbed of dear Bhisham Pitamaha in prayer. Lord Krishna himself was there, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Parasuram was another incarnation. Vyasdev was another incarnation. So many incarnations of the God, and Supreme Personality himself was present with all the assembled sages there. And very similar scene is said when Parikshat was at the bank of Ganges and hearing Bhagavatam, all same sages were there. So almost all the same sages, they visited Ramachandra, the big assembly. And the discussion was going on. Of course, Supreme Lord is, nobody is equal to him, nobody is above him, he is the ultimate Samam woman. And this is also well known that Nama Nami Abhinna, the name and the person are inseparable. They are one. But even then, the holy name is most merciful. Supreme Lord, when He mercifully appears, take avatar, descends, the fortunate soul get the opportunity to associate and relishes, witness and relish the pastimes. But holy name eternally is available for sincere souls. So the holy name is more merciful and powerful. Though it is not different from Supreme Lord, but holy name is available to everybody. Supreme Lord, when even He was on the planet, it was not easily approachable for everybody. Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the Bhagavatam purport of the two, Ramachandra and Krishna. Krishna was easily approachable because he was covered, he was in a pasturing grounds, anybody can meet him. Ramachandra was a prince, son of an emperor. It was not easy to approach him. So, to say, holy name is so merciful, Naam Prabhu, that it really sincerely and offenselessly chanted by a aspirant, a dedicated devotee, will realize everything about the Lord, His form, His abode, His pastimes. His heart will become the television. Hridaya Dur Darshan, Prabhupada used to say, Hridaya Dur Darshan, and he will relish all the wonderful pastimes. As our Goswamis, when they were chanting Hare Krishna, within their heart they were seeing the wonderful pastime of Radha and Krishna. So this was the discussion in the assembly of Lord Ramachandra. Which is more merciful? Supreme Lord Himself or His holy name? And in the discussion, well, some said it says holy name, some said it says Supreme Lord, but now the ultimate conclusion has to be reached. So Devarishi Narada, a celebrated Parivarjik Acharya, is so merciful, so exalted, that the small child like Dhruva and Prahlad, God is mercy and are still celebrated as the great child devotees. He is so powerful that he converted the hunter into a great saintly person. He inspired Valmiki to compile Ramayana. He inspired Vyasadeva to give us Bhagavatam. So he has his own Bhakti Sutra. So he is a Bhakti Acharya. He approached Hanuman and he said, Bajrang Bali, Hanumanji, you have to do one favor to me. Oh, Devarishi, what do you want? How can I serve you? He said, tomorrow morning, when all the sages and all great rishis come here, out of the Vaishnava etiquette, you go down to everybody and get blessing. That is your devotional nature. It's very nice. Please continue that, but make sure you ignore and avoid Vishwamitra. Avoid Vishwamitra. He said, well, he is one of the gurus for my master, Lord Ramachandra. This is going to be breach in the etiquette. Oh, Narad said, I will take care, don't worry. So Hanumanji, he offered obeisance to everybody. Atri is coming, Vashishta is coming, Gautam is coming. And then, when Vishwamitra arrived, he just looked on the other side and did not offer any respect or obeisance, just ignored him. And Vishwamitra, if you all remember, is Varna Kshatri. But then, he became from Rajrishi to Brahmarishi by his own great austerities. This was because the exchange of the paisam, one was made for a Brahman and one was made for a Kshatri. But the mother and the daughter exchanged these celestial paisam given by great Rishi. So the result was Vishwamitra, actually the paisam which was to make a Brahman was taken by the mother which gave birth to the Vishwamitra. And the daughter who took the paisam which was meant for Brahman, she took the one which was for Kshatri. So she and her husband told that, no, it is too much now. You will get a very ferocious Kshatri son. He said, please forgive me. He said, okay. After one son will be great devotee, but the next your grandson will be great Kshatri spirited personality, and that is Parsuram. So Vishwamitra very easily get angry because he has a Kshatriya spirit somehow. So he told Ramachandra, this is your servant. He has in the assembly ignored me, disrespected me, did not offer paranam. Give him mrityu danda, a death sentence. Kill him by your own arrow. Now Ramachandra, on one side his own master, spiritual master, and he's a Maryada Purushottam. And on the other side, his dear devotee, a exemplary servitude, Sri Anu. He said, well, by tomorrow morning you have to give him punishment. This is my order. Hanuman heard this and he went to the Devrishi Narad. He says, Naradji, what can I do now? My master is going to punish me by the death sentence. He said, don't worry, I will take care. You do one thing. You go on the other side of the river Saryu. Sit under a tree and chant the holy name of Ram. You say, I'm chanting always. But now you chant more attentively, because when death is near, the chanting is serious. Go and chant. I will take care. Well, Hanuman, from the evening, he was chanting there whole night. Next day morning, Vishwamitra said, yes, Ramchandra, I trained you, I gave you all the celestial weapons. Now use your powerful saranga, dhanusha, the bow sarang, and you have a special arrow, Ramabana, which never misses the target, and it comes back. Give punishment to this. Oh, you are a devotee who has disrespected me. Ramchandra has to oblige. All the rishis were there. Nobody was understanding what to do. Narad was smiling. Ramchandra somehow put an arrow on a bow and targeted Hanuman. Arrow is going towards Hanuman, but it was reaching there and coming back. 1, 2, 3 times. Ramchandra was also surprised. Externally, internally he knows everything is pastime, but how come my arrow is now not hitting the target and coming back to me? Vishwamitra said, what happened to you? These arrows have killed the Ravan. Kumbhakarna, greatest demon, but it's not killing this insignificant monkey. It's not actually monkey, I'm sorry to say. The word monkey in English is not a right word for vanar. Sanskrit vanar means those who are living in the mountains and in the forest. They are called Girivasi, Vanokasam. Vanokasam means living in the forest or on the mountain, but they are not monkeys. They are Banamanas. Bana means forest, Manas means human being. Manas, Manav. Banamanas. Hanuman was Buddhimatam Varishtam. He was the greatest of the intelligent person. Jnaninam Agarganyam. He was the foremost of all knowledgeable persons. This Vali was going Sandhyavadan every day to all these seas. How can monkeys do all these things? It's not monkey. They are a special race for service of Ramachandra. And they were all the expansion of great demigods to come to serve Lord Ramachandra in his pastime. Now Naradji came and he told Vishwamitra, now calm down. Brahmarishi Vishwamitra ji, calm down. I am asking you one thing, please. Give up your anger. I am going to tell you that in our discussion yesterday, we were discussing holy name is more merciful and powerful, our personally Supreme Lord, and we wanted to reach to the conclusion. I have designed this pastime to reach to the conclusion. Now everybody was actually looking towards Devrishi Narad. What is going on? And Devrishi Narad said, see, Hanumanji is chanting the name of Lord Ramachandra. Incessantly, continuously, offenselessly, with love and affection and attention. And that holy name is so merciful that even Lord is not going to harm the chanter. And the chanter is the greatest servitude devotee dear Hanumanji. So then this came conclusion in that assembly of great sages. The holy name is most merciful. And therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Gaura Hari, the Gaura Gopal and Gaura Govinda has brought this holy name, Hare Krishna mantra. What is this? Golokera prema dhana Hari Nam Sankirtana. This is the wealth of Golok. Chiradaditam Nijagupta Vittam. Chiradaditam. Long time it was not given. What was not given? Nijagupta Vittam. Nij means personal. Vit means wealth. And Guptam means very confidential. That which was not given for a long time, the wealth, personal wealth of personal confidential wealth. What is that? Namamritam. That is the nectar of holy name. Ati Udara Gaura. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very magnanimous. He has given it freely. Pamar, Tamar. Maybe low band, maybe Chandal, but he was giving it freely to everybody. But somehow nobody ever crossed the ocean and distributed this mercy of the holy name. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Though Mahaprabhu has forecasted Prithvi, Tyache, Yatra, Nagradi, Gram, Sarvatra, Prachar, Vedimana, now, on every town and village on the planet, earth, there will be chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But here is most merciful founder Acharya of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada, who embark on this mission at the advanced age and accomplish something which whole world is still astonished how it is possible. Most of the religion in the world are preached either by the great wealth like Christianity, open schools, open hospitals, give charity, make people attracted to the religion. On the other hand, the Mohammedan religion is spread with the sword in the hand. You accept or we will cut your neck, dehead you. But this ambassador of the spiritual world has no wealth, no weapon, but he has the mercy of Sango, Panga, Parshad, Astaram. Astar is also called weapon. There is Astar and Shastra. The Shastra means like the bow, arrow, sword, club. Now you can say gun, bomb is called Shastra. And Astar is something which is very subtle, and it is the sound vibration. So Sangopang or Astaram, it's not Shastram. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not bring any weapon to kill the miscreant, but he has a Astar. You understand by now the meaning of Astar and Shastra. Shastra means weapon, and Astar means subtle, like Brahmastra, Agneya Astra, Vayu Astra. These are very subtle signs. So this holy name is the Astra. It is actually killing the demonic mentality in polluted population. in contaminated conditioned souls. So Srila Prabhupada has given this Hare Krishna mantra, Radhara Tantra. Radhara Tantra means this is chanted by the gopis to attract Krishna and Golok. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada's one of the bhajan, Radha Kirpa. When the Radha will be merciful, then something can be accomplished. Bhai Radha Kirpa Bina, without the mercy of Radha, nothing can be accomplished. And somehow, Srila Prabhupada's father, Gorman Day, he used to invite sadhus every day and feed them and ask them to bless my son, that he should become a devotee of Radharani. So the bona fide spiritual master is actually personification of mercy of Radharani and potency of Sri Balaram Nityananda. So here we have Srila Prabhupada, our dear founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He is a personification of mercy of Radharani. Karunamai Karuna Bharite. Radharani is Karunamai. Karuna Bharite. She is full of mercy. And Nityananda, Ram's potency, power, spiritual strength. So holy name is so powerful and merciful, and is given by most merciful and magnanimous Mahaprabhu. And his followers, Rupanogas, has given this first in the Bharata Khanda, and then Srila Prabhupada has spread this in a Bharata Varsha. Technically, Bharata Varsha is all tract of lands surrounded by salty ocean. That's called Bharata Varsha. And Bhagavatam said the resident of Bharatavarsha are most fortunate by simply chanting holy name, they will get all perfection. Particularly in Kali Yuga. Definitely 10,000 years of golden era of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to manifest if our devotees enthusiastically and fervently do the Sankirtan, the holy name and book distribution, double Sankirtan, with third most powerful item prasad distribution, then the whole world will be inundated with mercy of Mahaprabhu. But since I told I will tell you the next story of Sri Hanumanji, and that story is actually the devotees' journey in devotional service to get the mercy of devotional service, personified Bhakti Devi, which is Swarup Shakti of Sri Krishna. So, in the Sundar Kand of the Hanuman's journey from a Mahendra Parbat means mountain, from Mahendra Parbat, 800 kilometers, so yojan, to Sri Lanka. As a service to Sri Ramachandra, to find out the whereabouts of Mother Sita, which was well, actually it is a shadow of Mother Sita which was kidnapped by Ravan and kept in his Ashok Grove, Ashok Vatika. One Srila Prabhupada said that we as a devotee, we have one only business. And what is the business? Unite the Radha with Krishna and relish their wonderful union. Giriraj Maharaj asked Srila Prabhupada, did you say this? What it means? Srila Prabhupada said, like Hanuman. Sita, who is none different than Lakshmi, the internal potency of Sri Bhagavan, Sri Ramachandra. What did Hanuman do? He just brought and united with Ramachandra. So wherever the Lakshmi is in the material world, we have to make sure that they should be engaged in service of Sri Krishna. So we have to get Lakshmi from the conditioned soul and engage in the service of Sri Krishna. That is uniting Radha with Krishna. Because most of the people on the planet are with a mentality of Ravan. What they are doing is they are trying to enjoy the Lakshmi for their sense gratification. What did Ravan do? He kidnapped the Sita, just wanted to enjoy, separate from Rama. This is most of the population is indulged in this demonic propensity, and devotees has, like Hanuman, to bring back Sita, news of the Sita, and then Sita, and unite with Sri Ramachandra. So, broadly speaking, there are only two categories of the people on the planet. One category is in the line of Hanuman as the devotees. Their business is to bring the Sita back to Ram. And the other category is Rava. Their business is to enjoy the Lakshmi, the wealth, for personal enjoyment without knowing that Krishna is Bhokta. And he is Sarvaloka Maheshwara. All the wars, all the personal and extended differences and fights are on two things. Who is the enjoyer and who is the owner? I am enjoyer, I am the owner. But Krishna says, I am the enjoyer and I am the owner. So until unless people accept these two things, who is the enjoyer and who is the owner and who is the well-wishing friend, they can never have a peace. So we have to learn from the journey of dear devotee of Lord Ramachandra, Hanuman, from Mahendra Parbat to Sri Lanka to get the news of last Sita and bring it back to Ramchandra and then arrange the union of Sita and Ram. So when Hanumanji, one most important thing we have to learn that the devotee in devotional service should never boast that I can do this. He should always wait and pray for the mercy of the Vaishnavas. If they bless and they empower, then I can accomplish. So when the question was there, who is powerful and eligible to jump over the Indian Ocean? So everybody was saying, I can go so many kilometers, this yojan, that yojan. Hanuman was keeping quiet, not boasting, I can do that. No. But when the senior Jambavat, who is son of Brahma, he has seen many Ramayana. Well, his father of Jambavati, the father-in-law of Sri Krishna, a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra. He told Bajrang Bali, you can accomplish this while you are still quiet. Please, we all request you, do you accomplish this task. Yes, that should be the Vaishnava attitude. That by the mercy of the Vaishnava I can accomplish anything. There's no impossible in the history, in the dictionary of the devotee. But then another qualification from Hanuman we have to learn, that he does not say to them that, okay, you go to Kishkanda, I will go and find out where is Sita. He said, you all stay here, wait for me. We all will go together and tell this story of finding the news of Sita to Ramchandra and Sugriva. It is a teamwork. You don't want to get glories oneself, personally. No. You want to work in a team spirit. We work together, we came together, and we'll all get the credit for doing this seva for Lord Ramchandra, not only me. So after these two good qualifications, when he was meditating to jump from the top of the Mahendra mountain, he was praying to the lotus feet of Lord Ramchandra that now I am going to be arrow in the bow of your lotus hands. I am going to be arrow and you have to shoot me. It means Nimitta Matra Bhava Savya Sachan. I am instrument in your hands. Use me as you like. This is the mood of Srila Prabhupada in America when he landed there. His first poem Markendi Bhagavad Dharma. The Bhagavad Dharma in America. He said, Krishna, why you brought me? Use me as a doll and let me dance as you like. Katputri. This is the another most significant and important mental attitude of a devotee, that I am instrument in the hands of my Gurudev, Vaishnava, previous Acharya, Gaurnita and Shila and Sri Siddhartha Shyamasana. I cannot do myself anything. I am instrument. So Hanuman was meditating like that. I am arrow, you shoot me and let me reach to the target and come back. This is the Rama Band, which always reach to the target and come back. And then he jumped. And then by that time he had a huge body, increased his body, very huge. And there are special ways. Ways means there are highways. Like when aeroplane is flying in the sky, they have their own ways, airways. Similarly, there are some celestial ways, highways you can say in the sky. Some maybe over 10 years back we were somewhere in the Himalaya. That place where there's a big army base up in the hill, up in the mountains. Lansdowne, no, that was the name of the Lord. Well, that place where we were for Nirjala EKΑΔAŞީ, and we were in a army rest house, and outside there was a plaque written. When the medical corps of the British Army was building this house, celestial being told that please don't make the next story because this is our celestial way to go Badrika Ashram. Every day we are going there and paying our respect to Lord Narnarayan. That Lord Lansdowne ignored that. It is written in English, whole big plaque there. And when he started building up, he became blind and everything was dismantled. This is the British. And then they sold that from the medical corps to the main army, that building. It said how much money actually spent at that time. Lansdowne, this place is, I'm not remembering the name right now. So there are celestial roads or ways, and Hanuman was flying in that celestial way. Now, first thing, the demigods were thinking that this great devotee is going to do favor to us because we are troubled and tormented by Ravana. But let us check whether he has the strength. Let us examine. So they inspired the ocean god that there is a one wonderful mountain within you, Minak Parbat. Ask him to come out of the water and assume the human form and request Hanuman to rest for a while on the top of the mountain and take some fruits and vegetables and get refreshed and get power and then fly. So Samundar was also very happy because the Sagar Maharaj, why I am called Sagar after Sagar, and that is the lunar dynasty, Surya Vans, and this Hanuman is going to accomplish the service for Lord Ramachandra, who is the Surya Vans, one who appeared in Surya Vans. And Minak was also jubilant that, oh, here is the son of Vayudev, the air god. And when Indra was cutting the feather of all the mountains, this Vayudev actually protected me and pushed me in the ocean, so I have to render service to do it. And repay to Vayudev by helping the son of Vayudev on the way. So he came out. He said, please Hanumanji, take a little rest, eat something, and then continue your journey. This is the first obstacle on the path of devotion. That is, enjoy, vogue, and laziness stop. Hanumanji with folded hands said, I accept your hospitality. thank you very much for your generosity. But in service of Lord Ramachandra, I cannot waste a moment. I cannot stop and cannot enjoy anything till I accomplish the mission of Sri Ramachandra. So first obstacle in the life of a devotee is bhog, enjoyment. We become devotee, people invite at their home, give us wonderful prasad, some cloth, some dakshina. If we are really entangled in that, then devotion will be far away. So how Hanumanji conquered this mentality? By tyag. Bhog, enjoyment, tyag, detachment. He gave all respect, but he did not enjoy. Oh, demigods become happy. He has a very physical power, is wonderful. He's not going to be tired on the path. Fatigue, no. But is he really intelligent? Only physical power is not enough. Intelligence is also required. So they wanted to again test the intelligence of Hanuman. And they asked the mother of the snakes, Sursa, because this examination is very difficult, because the mother of the snakes eat their snakes. They just, the snakes are born and she eat. It means she is very tough and strict. So Sursa, with open mouth on the path of Hanuman, is saying, okay, Brahmaji has given me boon, you have to enter in my mouth. Hanuman said, yes, I will, but after finishing my mission of Lord Ramachandra. She said, who will come back in the mouth of a death? Now you have to enter. I am on your path and you cannot go. Oh, Hanuman said, your mouth is so small. See, huge, my body, how can I enter in? She enlarged the mouth. Hanuman become double. She become double. Hanuman become double. So rasa, actually so means very nice, and rasa means mellows of enjoyment. And this is a mental enjoyment. What is mental enjoyment? Ego. I am great. I am senior devotee. I am for 15 years. Oh, I accomplished this thing. I have built this temple. I arranged this money. This is big ego. And the two devotees, when talk like that, this is like Sursa is increasing and Hanuman is increasing. So ego on the path of devotion is very dangerous, and usually ego can only be curbed and controlled by taking the shelter of the spiritual master and becoming humble. So Hanumanji, when he saw the Sursa's mouth is too big, then he became as small like a fly, enter in and came out. He said, I have fulfilled your desire and who have benediction given to you by Brahmaji. Sursa was there actually examining and tasting Hanuman's intelligence. She was very happy. He said, I bless you, accomplish your mission. I am very happy. So this ego, a mental culture of being superior to the others, is a very dangerous on the path of devotion. From Hanuman, we have to learn humbleness is only the way to overcome the ego. Hanuman becomes small. One friend, my saintly person, used to say, if you become small like an ant and you sit in a box of a prasad, then devotee can take you without any difficulty to Vrindavan. You can reach to Some devotee can take you. You become simple and small, then no problem. So Hanuman becomes very humble. And his humility has made him successful intelligently. Now the third obstacle in devotion. First is bhog, controlled by tyag. Second is ego, controlled by humbleness. And third is now, there was really a demoness called Singhika. And her specialty was to hold the shadow, which means black sight, of a flying birds and anybody. So she can't hold the shadow of Hanuman, and Hanuman was not able to really fly. He looked down and saw the open mouth of Singhaki demoness. He jumped directly into the mouth of Singhaki, entered into the heart, tore it open and finished the demoness, and again flew up and started his journey. This Singhika represents actually the envy. Enviousness is the greatest obstacle on the path of devotion. Even Sri Krishna says those who are envious will never get this transcendental knowledge. We have to be anusuyavi, non-envious. And Matsar, Bhagavatam, second verse says, Nitam nirmatsaranam satam. Nirmatsar means free from enviousness. So, chaya means shadow. Shadow is black. So, in a good person, if we find only the defect, this is the mentality of enviousness. Matsari, Irsha. And this is very dangerous for the devotion. Only treatment for this we have to learn from Hanuman is tear it open and throw it out. Until unless that is not accomplished, devotion will never reach to its culmination into love. Prem, Krishna Prem. Prayojan will not be accomplished. Now Hanuman landed on a Trikut Parvat in a Lanka. Still it was a daytime, so he just observed everything what was going on in Lanka, all the strategy. And then when it was evening, and become a little dark, then he became very small, like size of a cat. And he was jumping the wall of the fort of Lanka. Then the Vastu Devi, or the protected demoness of the Lanka, Lankani, she said, "Oh thief, you cannot escape from my sharp vision. I can see you. You are climbing over the wall." Hanuman looked behind and he said, "Who is thief? Your master who has kidnapped the consort of Ramchandra, or I am thief who is going to rescue and find out the whereabouts of the Sita? Who is thief?" And Hanumanji just turned back and with his left hand he little bit gave a hit on the cheek of the Lankani, and she fell down with the blood coming from the mouth. And she realized, Brahmaji told me that when the messenger of Ram make you fall down with the blood from your mouth, that is the time Lanka is going to be smashed and destroyed. So she knew this and she said, "Okay, all my blessing with you. Son, go and accomplish your mission." This is one of the dangerous and very sweet obstacle in the devotional pursuit of a devotee. Our friends and our relatives, when we become devotee and chant Hare Krishna, wear dhoti and put tilak and keep it shikha. Oh, they will say, "You have become completely nonsense and useless. You are not fit for our party, for our all these gatherings, useless." This is like Lankani telling Hanuman, "You are thief." So what we have to do, learn from Hanuman, that we have to really give a small little push to them. Hell with your parties, we are not interested. We will chant Hare Krishna. Wait for some time. And they will say one day, and they go down to you and accept you as sadhu and saintly person. And they will say we were wrong, but it will take time. So false propaganda of the friends and relatives on the path of devotion, which is this Lankani Hanuman's pastime, is most important for us to really. And who is actually bhakti where Hanuman is going? Sita is giving bhakti. We are asking Radharani to engage in Krishna's service. And that Radharani is the expansion of Radharani is Sita. There is Lakshmi, there's no difference. So now Hanuman is successful. He got the mercy of the bhakti and news of the bhakti. I'm not going to discuss more, our time is over. Hanuman came with his news and everybody was happy, and they came and they told to Ramchandra, and Ramchandra was pleased and he embraced Hanuman. He said, well, I know I don't have anything to give you now because I am in exile, but I am giving you my chest, which is only meant for goddess of fortune. Please, Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let me say a few words. Do you want to stay here? Okay. So I will say a few words about this song. So first of all, something that struck me actually yesterday is that we know the acharyas are describing that there are different types of kirtana for devotees, different ways of glorifying, and specifically they categorize the kirtana in terms of nama kirtana, guna kirtana, rupa kirtana, and lila kirtana. So the glorification of the name, of the qualities, of the form, and of the pastimes. So with this song specifically, it is interesting to see that this song combines the glorification of lila kirtana and nama kirtana together. It's very nice. So because nama kirtana is specifically explained by the acharyas to be the highest form of kirtana because nama contains everything. This song interestingly combines both the nama and lila, because after describing each lila you sing the name of Ram. Okay, Ayodhyaka jana mukti da Rama. Okay, every line ends with Rama, Rama. So nama kirtana doesn't stop because of lila kirtana, but lila kirtana contains nama kirtana in this song. So this is very nice. So we sing the pastimes of Rama and we meditate, and at the same time we are chanting his name. So just a few things that it is actually very, very nice composition in Sanskrit, very beautiful. And if you know the language, if you know the meanings, each line is composed in a very exquisite poetical way, so you can really appreciate it from the point of view of Sanskrit poetry. But even without going into those subtle details of Sanskrit composition, you can still appreciate the way the prayer sounds. And specifically, there are a few lines that are very, very striking from the point of view of the way they sound. Even if you don't understand the meaning, you can really appreciate just the way the line is composed and the sound of it. So the line number 5 is nice. Chanda kirana kula mandana rama. Do you hear anything, any specific sound is being repeated there? Chanda kirana kula mandana rama. Nda, nda, nda. So this very soft and beautiful sounds that are present in Sanskrit, they are called retroflex sounds. They create a certain vibration, they give the certain vibration to the whole line. So Rama, he is the mandana, he is the ornament of the Chanda Kirana Kula, of the family or the dynasty here in this context of the Chanda Kirana. So Chanda Kirana, Kirana is a ray and Chanda means fierce. So the fierce rays describing the sun, it's the name of the sun. So Lord Rama ornaments the dynasty of the sun. Then next one is very nice. Here, Ghora Tartaka. So you can hear the repetition of those Ga, Ghora Tartaka, Ghataka Rama. So Ga and Ga and Ta are repeated. First Ga, then Ta, then again Ga, and then again Ta. Ghora Tartaka, Ghataka Rama. Very beautiful. Then another line is it's playing with sounds, okay? Krita Vaivahika Kautuka Rama. How many sounds, how many K sounds you can hear that? Krita Vaivahika Kautuka Rama. 4 sounds of K in 3 words. Again, creates a beautiful alliteration, the sounds, ornaments of sounds. So we can view this how the poet, Sanskrit poet, especially devotional poet, a devotional poet uses his poetry to glorify the Lord. So language in itself is a great tool to express that. And all these ornaments of poetry and ornaments of language can be compared to the ornaments that we put on the deities. Just as a pujari ornaments the deity of Ram with garlands and decorations and beautiful dress, So in the same way, poet creates beautiful descriptions of Rama's pastimes, and he brings the beauty aspect of the language into it. So then it becomes really, really nice and appreciable by everybody. So there are many, many lines really. Aganita guna gana bhushita Rama. Again, that arna. Aganita guna gana bhushita Rama. So Rama is decorated, ornamented with uncountable qualities, uncountable virtues. Another beautiful line is here, a couple more. Dushta dashanana dushita Rama. So dushita, dushta is repeated. Dushta dashanana dushita Rama. So Rama was dushita, he was insulted in this way. The literal meaning is contaminated, but nothing can contaminate Rama. But so here we are taking the meaning of being insulted by Dashanana, by the 10-headed Ravana, who was dushta, who was evil. Dushta Dashanana dushita Rama. And one more, the last one I'll give you. 84, okay. Yeah, anyway, it's just a beautiful poem that it's nice to sing together with the family just like we do. And you can check out our performance where we play it with guitar on our channel, Sanskrit Strings. Devotees have received it very warmly and nicely. So, yeah, if let me take a few minutes and I'll say a few words about some lines, or specifically about one line that specifically struck me, and I really like whenever I chant it. I always remember that pastime. Navika dhavita mridupada Rama. So this line describes how Rama's feet were washed. Rama's soft, tender feet were washed by the boatman. So that was the boatman of Guha, in the kingdom of Guha. When Rama just left to his forest exile, he passed through the kingdom of Guha and he was proceeding on beyond crossing Ganga. So there was one boatman and he asked Guha, he was asking Guha about Rama's plans for the next day. And as soon as he came to know that Rama is planning to cross the Ganga the next day, he reminded Guha, you remember sometime in the past I gave you a favor and you promised to reciprocate. So can you reciprocate now? So Guha said yes. So tomorrow I want you to prohibit all the boatmen from from their duties. Send them all on holiday. That's my favor. So Guha said, okay, fine. So the Navika, the boatman, was so eager to serve Rama by ferrying him across the Ganga. So in the morning when Rama came to the shore of the Ganga, he saw there was no boats. There were no boats there. And just one boat he could notice. And that boat was there standing, but not by the shore, slightly ahead in the water. So he could not board the boat. And then Rama called the boatman. So we need your boat to cross the Ganga. And the boatman said, I am really scared to do that for you, Sri Ram. He spoke very respectfully, but he said that just remember that I heard how you turned, just by touch of your feet, the dust of your feet, the stone turned into a woman, into Ahalya. So if you step on my boat, it might also turn into a woman. Then what I'll do with her? So, and then Ramachandra said that, you see, it doesn't happen all the time. I walk in Ayodhya on the stone streets, stone paths, and stones don't turn into women. Then the boatman argued that no, stones are very hard, so sometimes it happens to the stones, but wood is very soft material, so it can easily turn into a woman, it can get shaped. So Rama said, fine, and then if it happens, then you can take that woman as your wife. Then the boatman argued back that, you see, if I take her as my wife, definitely there will be quarrels, because I already have one wife, so co-wives always quarrel. I don't need quarrel in my house, and then also I don't have much means to maintain 2 wives, so I have a difficulty to take you on board. So then Rama said, okay, so fine, okay, then let me, you get down on the shore and let me take the boat and we'll cross the Ganges. But then he said, no, no, no. Boatman said, we should all stick to our dharma. I will never give up my Swadharma, even though it's sometimes difficult and it's full of faults. Still, I'll stick to my dharma as a boatman. So we can't swap the roles here. But I offer one solution. Since I'm scared of the dust from your feet, that it can somehow turn my boat into a woman, just like as it did to Ahalya, let me wash your feet before you step into my boat. And then Rama agreed. And then boatman finally agreed, and he brought his boat to the shore, and he collected Ganga water, and he washed Lord Rama's lotus feet, and all the members of his family came, and it was so nice. And he did it very devotionally, very... Ramachandra said that, can we make it a bit faster? The boatman said, see, you were sent into exile for 14 years, so why the haste? Let me do it slowly. And he kept washing Ramachandra's lotus feet, and some say that Ramachandra at some point he felt a little bit out of balance, because sometimes you need to lift one foot, another foot. So he actually put his hand on the head of the boatman for support. And this mercy was just so much glorified by the demigods. So just look, he's so fortunate. He's washing Lord's feet, and Lord Rama put his hand on his head. So much mercy. And finally, when he ferried Rama across the Ganga, there was a time for Rama to step out from the boat. They decided to reciprocate, and Sita removed the ring and wanted to give the ring as a reward for the boatman. But the boatman said, no, I can't accept the reciprocation, because people of the same race, they don't pay each other. Then they were a little bit startled. Ram, Sita, Lakshmana, what are you saying? People of the same occupation? And then the boatman said, yes, we are doing the same job. You and me. We both carry people across. I'm a boatman, I carry people across one bank to another bank. But you're also similar. You have also similar occupation. You're also a boatman. You carry the people across the ocean of samsara. So we are doing the same job. I will not accept the payment from you. So this was a beautiful incident, and we can learn a lot from this. And we can appreciate, really, even Krishna is sometimes described as a boatman who carried the Pandavas across the dangerous ocean of Kurukshetra battle. And yeah, so this is just a beautiful pastime, and this song is filled with such reminders, triggers that can really make your kirtan saturated. So the purpose of kirtan is to saturate our hearts with feelings, with bhava. And it's possible when we constantly hear of the pastimes and remember them. So this is something that can enrich our kirtana. So with this, I think I can end here, and I'm very happy for whoever came and took part with us on this online kirtan session, Nama Ramayana, and we sincerely wish Pankajangri Prabhu his recovery. And yeah, Jai Shri Ram, Hare Krishna. Remember Ram, glorify Ram, and read Ramayana with your whole family. Hare Krishna.